Now we are moving to Singapore. We have a great entrepreneur, but he's still entrepreneur, by the way. He was parliament member for 20 years in Singapore. As a matter of fact, he has a signature in development of the innovation ecosystem of Singapore for many years. And you know, Singapore is now perceived as an innovation hub of Southeast Asia. Inderjit Singh is one of the co-founders of an unicorn almost 20 years ago, and he now wrote a new book on the arts and science of entrepreneurship. So I wanted to invite Inderjit today. He is WBAF's board member. He is president of the Global Startup Investment Promotion Agency, and he is also the president of the Global Startup Committee of the WBAF. Dear Inderjit, welcome. I know it is too late in Singapore, so I wanted to also put the Asia Roundtable to the first row of today's roundtable orders. So we will start today roundtables from Asia, then move to Europe and Africa. Inderjit, art and science of entrepreneurship. What do you mean?
Okay, yeah. So great to see everyone today. Happy to join. So Baibas, thank you for giving me this opportunity. Now, this book, The Art and Science of Entrepreneurship, was my attempt to translate all of my entrepreneurial experiences, whether in starting up companies or creating ecosystems or in making policies, and translating all of these things to something that we can teach. So, you know, we hear this thing about converting theory to practice. But I did the reverse. I converted practice into theory, and I put it into a book so that, you know, we can share and hopefully teach future generation of entrepreneurs, investors, and policymakers on what it takes to participate in the startup economy that we have been talking about. So in this book, you know, I spent a lot of time putting up this point that entrepreneurship is all about creating the right mindset. It's not just about starting companies. And that any one of us doing anything in life, if we can think like an entrepreneur, we can make a big difference and change the world if we want to. And so the first part of my book is about how entrepreneurs think, the traits of entrepreneurs, the mindsets of entrepreneurs. And the mindset thing is typically a very abstract thing, right? So because, you know, it's so hard to define such soft skills and soft points about how we think. And so therefore I call it the art. The entrepreneurship, thinking of entrepreneurship is an art. Now, once we have an idea as an entrepreneur and you want to launch a business, how do you convert that idea? Now, an idea alone is not a business. And this is what many entrepreneurs many entrepreneurs made during the dot-com days, when an idea in their mind was sufficient for them to raise money and run a business, and they fail. And because the converting an idea to the business is a difficult step, and then running a business is another difficult step. Raising funds is also very difficult. So the second part of my book is called The Science of Entrepreneurship, is to now guide the entrepreneur from the time that you have developed an idea to go and then do all the necessary things in developing the business model, writing a business plan, raising funds, and then, you know, running the company. So that's a science. So it's a technical part of entrepreneurship. The third section of my book, I capture many experiences, many examples, lessons learned. I've captured the days of the dot-com era, when the dot-com bubble burst, technology bubble burst in the 2000s. And I also have captured many ideas on how we can survive challenging times, difficult times. And I've added a chapter on surviving this COVID, how to operate, how entrepreneurs should be thinking in this post-COVID era that's coming our way. And finally, I also talk about how governments, how ecosystem players can build a conducive environment to support a vibrant startup economy. So this is roughly the structure of my book. I've got many stories, real life examples that I relate to the theories that I put in the book. And so this book can be read as a storybook, can be read as a reference book, as a manual, or as a textbook. But it's you know, it's easy reading. It's almost like reading a storybook.
So you are inviting, as Angel Investor Review announced, you are inviting to learn how to think like an entrepreneur. I think thinking like and learning how to think like an entrepreneur is not for only potential entrepreneurs, but it is also very important for policymakers, NGO leaders, for almost everybody, because after the current developments in the economies of the world, I think it is really a very important point to tap. Thank you very much, dear Inderjit, for your efforts. Thank you very much for bringing this book to the attention of entrepreneurs and angel investors. I'm sure anyone who will read the book will find a rewarding experience by reading it. Thank you very much, dear Inderjit.
Thank you, bye-bye.